Hi there. Now just to recap, we were given this matrix A then and the identity matrix, which was a 2 by 2 matrix, and asked to show in a previous question, part B, that the inverse of A was equal to a half of A minus 7i. Now for this part, we're told that the transformation represented by A maps the point P onto the point Q. And given that Q has coordinates 2k plus 8 and minus 2k minus 5, where k is a constant, we've got to find, in terms of k, the coordinates of P for 4 marks. So if you'd like to have a go at this one, I'll just give you a moment to pause the video. Okay, welcome back then. See how you got on. Don't forget you can fast forward if you like, just to check the final solution, or I'll take you slowly through the work solution. So I'm going to draw a sketch just to illustrate what's going on first of all. Let's just put it over here. We've got our axis, say, okay, x-axis, y-axis, and we've got a point somewhere on this, okay, which is, say, P. And if we use the transformation A, then this moves to a new point, okay, just do that. So this new point is Q. So in other words, if I do A of P, we end up with Q. Now what I want to do is go from Q back to P. So if I want to go from Q back to P, then this means that the inverse, okay, inverse of A that is, operated on Q should equal P. And this is why we can use this result up here. If I get the inverse matrix of A, then I can multiply that with Q, and I know that it should give me my point P, which I'll call, say, xy. And I should then be able to find out what the coordinates of P were. So that's my method through this, all right? So first of all then, I'm going to find out what the inverse matrix of A is. And that's using this result up here. It's a half then multiplied with the matrix A. So we'll just copy that in as 6, minus 2, minus 4, and 1. And then from this, we subtract 7 times I, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, and close that bracket off there. So what we've got then is a half, and we multiply this with the matrix 6 minus 7. If we look at the first element, 6 minus 7, that's going to be minus 1. We've got minus 2, minus nothing here, so it's going to be minus 2. And then minus 4, minus another 0, well, that's just going to be minus 4. And then we've got 1, minus 7, so that's going to be minus 6. So that's our matrix. I didn't really need the square brackets now I look at it. Okay, round that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just rewrite it again as that. Half of minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, okay? So now we've got that, we can just come back on this point here, and that is, since the inverse of A multiplied with Q will give us P, that sets up an equation that we can work out. The inverse of A then is this matrix, so we've got a half multiplied by minus 1, minus 2 there, minus 4, minus 6, and we're multiplying this with Q. So Q has these coordinates, but we have to write it as a column vector here. That would be 2k plus 8 and minus 2k minus 5. Okay, so that's that, and we know that it should come back to the point P, which I'll just say has coordinates x, y. So if I work this side out. I'm going to write xy first of all on the left though. Xy equals, so working this out, let's just keep the half out the front and multiply out our matrices, these two here. So we've got -1 times 2k plus 8, and then that's followed with -2 times -2k minus 5. That will give us the top row here. So -1 times 2k plus 8 is going to give us -2k minus 8, and then we have got -2 times -2k minus 5. So -2 times -2k is plus 4k, and -2 times -5 is plus 10. So that's the top row there. For the next one, we've got to do -4 -6 times these two elements here and add those two results together. So -4 times 2k is -8k, -4 times 8 is -32, and then we've got -6 times -2k, which is plus 12k, and then -6 times -5, which is plus 30. And simplifying this gives us, well, we've got 4k minus 2k, which is 2k, halve that, and you have got just k. And then -8 plus 10 is 2, half of 2 is 1, so k plus 1 there. And then for y, the bottom row here, well, we've got 12k minus 8k, which is 4k, halve that, that's 2k. And then -32 plus 30 is -2, halve that is -1. Okay, so we're asked to give the coordinates of P, so writing this as coordinates, we've got P then is k plus 1 for its x coordinate, and the y coordinate is 2k minus 1. Okay.